Hey guys, welcome back to aquaaz. This week we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to get in the kitchen and we're going to attempt to make our own fish food. So let's get it. So we're in the kitchen and we're going to try and make our own fish food today. Handy tip, there is a lot of breeders around the world and strong aquarium enthusiasts that do make their own fish food. Reach out to these guys and you might be able to get some of their recipes as they make food in bulk. It just makes sense for them to make their own in bulk. I've received one from the discus community in Australia. Slightly changed it as I didn't have everything there, and I'm not making 2 kilos as the recipe states, so things are sort of halved in that respect. So to start with, what I've originally gone with is hoki, which is a white saltwater fish, also known as blue grenadier, down here in Australia and New Zealand. It's a white fish. Reading up on things, it's better to go with a white saltwater fish, as freshwater fish are prone to carry disease and can transfer through your fish food. So hey, I'm learning as I go as well, so that's what we've done. Another handy tip, as I've already learnt, here's the hoki. You want skin off. I brought fillets with skin still on and had a hell of a time trying to get the skin away from the meat. There you go. I'll make mistakes and hopefully help you guys through the steps as we go. What happens. So I've got 350, so I've got 360 grams of hoki or blue grenadier here. I'm going to finely dice it and then put it into the blender, just so the blender doesn't have to do as much work. So the next ingredient I've got is raw Australian prawns, 140 grams of these guys. I'm basing the whole recipe pretty much on the weight of the meat. As I say, with the 2 kilos going, 2 kilo recipe we've been given. The meat that I have is about 700 grams worth. So I'm going to base all the ingredients and amounts based off that rough 700 gram mark. So if you do go with the prawns, I went with raw prawns, but the heads and the tails are already gone and they're deshelled, so it's a lot easier to chop up and put it through the mixture and into the blender. You can keep the heads on if you like, but the shells are a bit harder to break down and could have sharp pieces through the food, so I've just chosen not to in that respect. And the next ingredient I went for to finish off the hard meat-based side of this mixture is scallies. It's pretty hard for me really to throw scallops in this. They're eating better than I am, and I love scallops. So anyway, this is all to see how we go and see if we can make this work. As I said, I've never done this before, so we're in it together. With the scallies, chuck them on. Straight there, and these are raw scallops as well. Nothing's cooked, it's all fresh. Don't get anything cooked. Everything you try and get it all fresh. What I'm going to do now is dice everything up a bit to take the heat off the blender. Dice it all up a bit finer so the blender has less work to do. Alright, so now we're going to chuck it all in the blender. So all our ingredients, foldable match, super handy. So what I'm going to do is arc it like that and then try and pour if it'll go. Got a little bits left. Probably it's not really cut up. I wouldn't make it on a real cooking show, trust me. Alright, fresh garlic cloves. I'm going to go with 8. As the rough recipe says, the more the better. So I'm going to go with 8. Break them up, dice them up, and throw them straight in. We'll come back once that's done. There we go. 8 cloves of garlic. That was like a 10-minute job. I'm like the worst person at breaking up garlic and dicing it. I'm not a chef by any means, but anyway, we got there in the end. I am rating this curved mat though. That's super handy to do that. Then we got, next one we got is spirulina powder. So this one I'd never seen before. It was in the health food section of this local supermarket. Organic high nutrients superfood powder. So it says I've narrowed it down with the amount I've got. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of spirulina powder in this mix with how much is there? No. Yeah, actually smells quite nice. 1 tablespoon. Let's go. Oh, I don't know. Well, let's just rough it. Then we want, it says men and women multivitamins. I only had men's vitamins, so I just used 1 tablet, and it also says use vitamin C. I can't remember exactly what the 2 kilo recipe said, but I've narrowed it down. I'm just going to put 2 in. What I did was used a little bit of hot water and let them dissolve in a cup first, and then I'm just going to add. Now brewer's yeast, it doesn't have a specific quantity, so I'm sort of going to wing this one on texture. And the last one is raw egg yolks. So this will be funny, try and watch me get the whites out of the yolks. Now I'm winging this completely. By memory, do something like this. So you're left with only yolks. Yeah, I made a hell of a mess. I really should have done that over a bowl. Please do that over a bowl. Cool. 2, and I'm going to have to wash that. 2 egg yolks. And made a hell of a mess. Alright, brewer's yeast. It doesn't have an exact measurement on what to add, but I'm just going to go with this being a superfood and a powder like the spirulina. Let's just copy what we put with. Let's just copy the spirulina, and we'll go with 1 tablespoon and see what happens. Okay. That's it. Now blend. What do we want? We'll put it on high. On. that didn't work. And now what we want to do is grab the best thing ever, snap lock bags. These are just sandwich ones. I've made a smaller mix than 2 kilos, so evenly spread it out in your sandwich bag, roll it out so it's reasonably thin, stack them on top of each other, put them in the freezer, and once they're frozen, we'll come back and see if the discus will actually enjoy it. I ended up getting 4 sandwich bags worth, reasonably thin. I'll put them in the freezer. Let me just show you. So I double bagged the second one, as I thought it was a great idea to tap the spoon on the bag to try and get the last little bits out and put holes in the bag, so whoops. So that one's double bagged and the rest are ready to go. Stack them on top of each other, put them in the freezer. Hopefully tomorrow we can try and see if the discus like it. So here we are 2 days later and we are frozen. 4 of them in a bag. We're going to see now, crack off a little bit and actually see if the discus take to them. So let's have a look. So there we go, guys. Got a little bit of interest, but we'll keep persisting with it and see how they go. They've never had this food before, so we'll see what happens. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed this video. Got a good laugh at my expense. A couple of things, quick rundown of what we've learnt. If you get fillets, make sure they're fillets with skin off. I had a hell of a time getting the meat away from the skin once I got them. Eggs, definitely crack eggs over a bowl. If you guys have any other recipes that you might find interesting or want me to try, hit me up on aquaaz@yahoo.com. Send me an email with those recipes and I might be able to try and see if we can get them as well. Thanks for sticking around for so long. Love you guys, love the support. Do all the fun stuff, hit that thumbs up and sub button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.